Hello and welcome back, dear viewers, to a brand new episode of your show, The Untold. My name is Daij Al-Hutiri. So today we are thrilled and excited to meet the incredible judo player, also a referee, a coach at the same time, skilled and dedicated Coach Humoud Dashti. So, dear viewers, stay with us. We'll be back with our guest. Welcome back to the studio, dear viewers, and of course, I would like to welcome our guest, Coach Humoud Dashti. Well, it's an honor having you here with us, and an ex judo player, referee, captain. So it's all in one, and we're happy to have you here with us in the studio of the show, The Untold. So first of all, we would like to get to know more about your impressive career in being a judo referee, and also a ex-player and a coach at the same time. So tell us about this impressive career.
Hi, good evening. I start my judo at 1987.
1987.
Before I start judo, I used to be an athletic sport as a shot put and hammering. But I stopped for 2 years.
All right.
I start at 1987 as a judo player.
All right, 1987, this is where we
Yes.
all started.
Yeah, I start. I continue playing until 2000,
Or the year 2000.
year 2000.
And then you switched to coaching?
No, during when I am player, I start at like 1999 as a refereeing for the judo,
Alright.
as a basic referee. I continue refereeing until now. I'm
So currently you're a referee.
refereeing
Alright.
as an international A referee.
That's nice.
Yeah, world referee.
So internationally, not just locally.
No, there is difference between international and world. It's a level.
Oh, it's okay,
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
the levels for the referees.
For the
Oh,
referees,
what kind
yes.
of levels do we have?
We have locals,
Alright.
we have continental,
Alright.
we have international, we have world, we have Olympic.
So best of luck for reaching the Olympic
No,
level.
not yet.
But maybe one time. Why not?
Inshallah,
Right?
inshallah, I hope.
Inshallah,
I hope.
definitely. All right, so coach, now as a coach, you have trained numerous athletes in judo. What qualities do you believe that they're essential for players to have to be able to play the sport?
Anyone can play sport, but main things you have to be in a good shape, because we have a different weight to start judo, like 7 levels we have of judo weights. We start from lightweight to heavyweight,
All right.
and we have additional open weight. So the strongest one in the games or in the club, he can play it.
The free weight.
The free weight, yes. Open. We call it open weight.
But what if I was like, I'm not in shape, and I want to, be part of the judo community?
You can.
I can, but
Yeah,
with practice.
You're practicing, yes, but a lot of practice, not easy.
So it's
like
not an easy
different.
sport.
No,
There's
it's
a
not
lot of
easy.
misconceptions which we are
Yes.
going to be talking about in just a minute.
Exactly.
All right, so you have presented Kuwait on international stages, both as a competitor and a referee. So how has the sport of judo evolved in Kuwait over the years, and what role do you see it playing in Kuwait's sports culture? So over the years, I mean, it's all right. Let's take it step by step here. And there is a lot of things happening here in your career now. As after being a player, now as a referee, you presented judo in many different competitions and over the world.
Yes.
So how do you see it, growing
Here in Kuwait, growing.
Yes.
Yes. Kuwait
locally
is-
and internationally?
Yeah, it start growing very, very well, in all world. But in Kuwait here, when we start the judo, like 60s or early 70s, there was a professional coaching or instructor. He came from Japan to start the judo, give the basic for all old player. The old player, they start to become a coaching
Yes, this is
to
how
the
it
new
goes.
generation.
And you were trained by one of these old.
I start judo with the Egyptian coach.
Mm.
He used to be a coaching in Japan.
All right.
He was very high level trainer for us, and continue with us for like 10 years or 20 years.
Nice.
Yes,
And then you combined all the knowledge and techniques, and then you became one of the coaches, right?
exactly.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So what do you they call you master? They have names, right? I'm not familiar with the names, so I know the karate they have names also, right? So
Yeah, as an
same with judo.
instructor, no, judo
Just
instructor.
instructor.
Yeah, because no one can be a judo instructor. Not easy.
It's not easy. Okay.
Yeah, it's not easy, and you cannot be from, even if you are studying a judo, you cannot be an instructor.
What does it?
Teaching, you have to play. You have to be a player starting from zero.
How long does it take to become an instructor?
No,
10 years?
if I want to say you are a judo player, you have to cross 5 years training to be a judo player. For instructor, at least you have to 20 years
Wow.
to work to get instructor.
Wow. MashaAllah. You made it.
I
And
made
also
it, yes.
a referee.
Yes.
Something big. Right. So, what kind of challenges you have faced in the international judo referee, and how do you handle the pressure of making crucial decisions during the competitions?
For me, exactly, the judo when I start first time, it was in Russia.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
it was
you
in Russia.
became
Yeah,
a referee in Russia.
international refereeing. It was in Russia. So there was, and they put my name or my number to referee the final game. It was a surprise for me. They hold me for like 1 hour, no refereeing, and then they put my numbers to referee the last game for the
But,
gold medal.
must be tough.
Yes, it was very difficult for me. But as I continue players, you can feel the players. You can judge very well.
Yes, because you were one of them.
Exactly. Until now, I can continue playing. Until now, I'm continue playing to keep my refereeing in high level.
Is there like a specific age someone have to be like to become a judo player? It's like specific. We talked about maybe size, but how about in shape? But how about age?
No, age, he can start when from 5 to 4 years old. He can start. Even the teenagers, they can start any weight. But it depends on if he continue training or not.
This is why I asked the question, because it takes a lot of time to become
Exactly.
a coach and referee and all these things. So more than 20 years. So it's better to begin or start at a young age. Is that right?
Yeah, it's right to be if you want to continue. But most of the player here, when they starting as a junior, after
Just
when they
casually.
when they reach high school, they stopped. For the college, when they go to college, they stop. So that's why they cannot continue the career for themselves.
Is there like a specific reason behind that? Is it just for the college and studying, or maybe it's not interesting anymore for them?
No, it's. I think the study doesn't let them to continue the training, and the judo. It's not like normal game. It's a feeling game. You have to feel the opponent in front of you, or if you want to do any movement to carry or to win on it, you have to feel it. If you don't have the feeling, you cannot win.
Why
So even if you are training very hard, but if you don't have the feeling, you will not win. So it's from the mind. It's not from the body,
It's a mind game.
Yeah, it's a mind game.
All right. So, but how long a session needs? Like, how many hours per day or per week we have to train?
It should be daily training for
Oh,
2
that's
hours.
why they don't have enough time to
Yes,
show
daily
up.
2 hours. If you want to be a judo player.
All right. So now that I know that you are a coach and a referee, and also and ex-player, of course, since you can't be a coach without being and also a referee without
Even
being
refereeing,
a player.
yes.
Yes. Of course, there has to be some requirements or different skill sets to be or to become both and balance between refereeing and coaching. So, what kind of skills that you have?
You have to continue training if you want to be coaching or a refereeing as a refereeing. You have to training. Now in these 2 last years, when we go to any world refereeing like a world championship or Asia championship, you have to bring your judo suits. They try you before the games.
Oh, as a referee.
As a referee, yes.
They have to test your skills, your knowledge, and all these techniques, I would say.
Techniques, names, movement.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, that's why it's important to be. Okay, I'll get the point. I get the point. All right, so uh, how many competitions, internationally you have competed in as a player?
As a player from
From the beginning, I would say.
88, before Kuwait invasion.
Mm-hmm.
From 88, I start playing competition until 2001. I'm a gold medal. Nobody beat me on these 25 years.
All right.
I get my weight, weight 7.
So
I'm a heavyweight.
That's very nice.
Yeah,
That's
continue.
Very nice. Okay, good. I'm gonna have to keep a distance between me and you so that you don't give me a technique. So judo is, it's not just about the physical strength.
No.
Right? It's about being disciplined.
Mentality.
Mentality as well.
Mentality, yes.
So how do you focus on the importance of mental strength for your athletes that you train?
I start to prepare them mentality, to prepare them to start to play judo. So something we call it over limit work. Over limit work. Like when you feel tired, you cannot wait, stay, getting rest, and you start the game again. No, you have to rest during when you are playing.
All right. So
yes,
during the game.
The game. Yes, you don't have time for resting. Right. So that's mean they call it over limit work. So your body breathe. Yeah, your body breathe and rest during when you are playing.
So I heard of overtraining, but this is overplay.
Over limit. Over limit, yes, over limit.
And that has to be tough?
Yeah, very, very tough, yes.
So is it considered one of the toughest sports out there?
Yeah, ones of Olympic, they exam a judo player and a swimmer. So they find the judo player is more fitness and...
Wow, so he got more stamina because, as you mentioned...
More than the swimming man.
They're disciplined, they train every day. With that being said, they rest during the game. This is something new to me.
Yes, exactly. You never hear it, maybe.
Yeah, this is the first time. Yeah.
So you have to, like when you're playing, you have to defense and attack same times.
All right, so let's begin with the technique. If I'm just a new player right now, where should I start? What should I do?
You start with how to fall first. To do not afraid from the ground. You have to fall. I teach you how to fall during the game because somebody carrying you, throw it. So
it's
throw
all
you
about
on the ground.
Who throws the other player first?
On the back, not any place, only on the back.
So and he gets the point.
He get a point. He finished the game.
All right.
So when you throw your opponents on the ground and he's back, you finish the game. Or if he fall down on the ground, but he's not in his back, he can continue playing as we call it Niwazaranduri. Niwazaranduri, it's we play in the ground. Like I can choke you or breaking arm or hold you for 20 minutes now.
All right, fair enough. So a lot of ways and a lot of techniques to win the game.
Yes.
All right, so I guess we got a lot to talk about in just a minute, but first let's take this really quick break and then we'll get back to you, dear viewers, with more questions regarding judo. All right, welcome back, dear viewers, from the break, and of course, we'd like to welcome you again, Coach Humoud Dashti, for being, part of this interview. It's wonderful. I mean, getting to know more about judo and the sport, in general, is something very important for all of us. So let's begin with, how do you prepare yourself mentally and in general for being in a competition or in a game, or refereeing, let's say, to preparing?
You should, I told you from the first, you have to continue training. So during this time, you can feel the refereeing and coaching during when you are playing from your opponent.
So it's all about training. It's all
Yeah,
about
training. You do not stop training.
But there has to be some specific, I would say, technique that you prefer, right? There has to be some.
For me,
Yes.
yes.
Please elaborate.
When I was a player, there was two technique. I do them in same times. So one of them it should be okay for the opponent from me. So I start in one direction, but it's two movement. It was two movement.
Do they have a name for it, or just it's just a
Yeah,
movement?
it was. I start with ochigari. That's mean I can in the front of him. I can pull his left leg, or I will carry his leg.
All right.
So the other movement, it's named ochimata.
Ochimata.
Ochimata, yeah. I used to make a combination between ochi and ochimata.
And the opponents, they knew you back then, right? So they knew you prefer these techniques. So, have they ever countered your ways of playing? Did you face any challenges? Because they know that you prefer these kind of techniques.
That's why I told you I make a combination because
It's either this or that.
no, the first one. Everybody know I do an ochigari.
All right.
Everybody. But in the last years, it was everybody know it. I change it. I start with the same ochi, but I change it to achumata.
Ochimata.
Ochimata.
All right. So this is where you
So
grab his leg and...
it's a back throw to front throw
All right.
in same times.
Wow. Did you face any challenges during, being a player?
Yes.
Like training, maybe?
No,
not
training.
only in competing, but also training.
Even
so
training,
add both.
it's very hard because I never find one of my size to play with him. When I go to
right.
yeah, when I go
Mashallah.
to when I go to international world champion, so all of them they are bigger than me.
Wow, mashallah.
Yeah, I was the bigger here in Kuwait, the biggest one. So even when I trained, there was no one my size to play with him.
So if I decided to play the sport, we're gonna have to find someone my size.
Your size, yes.
Yes.
As they say, find someone with your own size.
Yeah, yes. But what if I couldn't find someone my size at
You
the
could
place?
train. You could train.
I can
so
do
when you
that by
train with
myself.
someone bigger than you or stronger than you, you become more
Even more stronger,
advanced.
right?
Yeah,
Advanced.
stronger, advanced than your friends.
This is
At-
what I
at same
thought.
weight. Like when you play at 70s, maybe your weight 70. So if you play with 80s and 90s, so you'll become stronger than your weight 70.
That's nice. For my case, I think everyone is gonna be, bigger in size, so I'm gonna be advanced player, right? In no
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Yes.
All right. So, being in competitions, of course, there has to be some winning and losing. So, regarding defeats, how would you take it? Like if you were beaten by one of the
yes.
players,
So
how would you feel? How would you react to it? What should you do?
I go back again to the country. I start more training, I try to more hours to train, more techniques to change my techniques or. To
So you
do
always
my
have to go
techniques.
back.
Yeah, always. Still, even you are refereeing or coaching, you have to go back training.
All right, fair enough. Now, of course, when we begin, we start any certain hobby, whatever it is, there has to be some kind of inspiration behind us starting. So, who was your, who were you inspired of, being a judo player?
One of my friends, he was with me in the high school.
All right.
So I was playing an athletics, and the coach who was training me in this time, he left the country. He was from Egypt even. So, in the 80s, there was nothing to do outside.
Yeah.
So he told me to join the judo games.
Your friend.
My friend, since he was one of international player in Kuwait.
Nice.
One of I think Abbas family. I start judo in Salmiya club. It was beside my house. And this time, the Egyptian instructor, when he came, I told you he was very good instructor. And
Was it the one who was trained in Japan?
in Japan? Yes,
All right.
exactly. So he feel me. I want to train, and he was with me all the time. Anytime when I call him or during the game, if I want to know anything new, he was teaching me because I never stop training. It was good.
And from that point,
I continue.
That's very nice. Interesting
Yes.
story. So, like previously before the break, we talked about how there are like some misconceptions regarding the sport, judo. It's one of the sports that may lead you to having injuries, or it's tough. You need a lot of time to be a judo player. So, what's your take on that, on the misconceptions?
Yeah, that's why everybody thinks in a fight or a martial art game, it starts with injuries. No, for judo, there is no injuries like a football. When they make they was checking which game they have more injuries, it's a football game.
Probably because it's the most played sport. Is that?
Yes, no, the way you play, because many people they holding or they stop on the ball, they break their ankles or
That's
knees.
why.
Yeah,
That's why.
it's more injuries than judo. Judo you can get injuries if you are not training.
If you're not
Training, yes. So like there is people like once in a week they came or once in a month to be a judo player, so that he could get
most
an
likely it's from
injuries.
sparring, right?
Yes, it's not from the game.
All right. So if I'm a newcomer now, I'm a new, a new guy who wants to, join the club, of judo. How would you welcome me? What would you tell me about the sport?
Nothing, just you start. I will examine you, examine your fitness, and I start.
So that's
teach you.
number one.
This is number
Examination,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, exam your fitness, exam your like your weight, and I start after that. We will start how to fall on the ground before you start playing, to do not get injury.
All right, fair. Do I need to purchase a specific, outfit or all these sport
You need to
materials?
be out sport, but not during when you are starting.
So at the beginning, I just come in and
Just yeah, to feel the we call it dojo.
dojo.
The
Oh yeah,
dojo,
the floor,
dojo,
right?
The floor they call
Dojo,
it
yeah.
dojo. So you have to feel it first. After you can go continue.
All right, that's interesting. All right, so can you share some memorable experiences from your time coaching or refereeing in the international competitions that you practiced in, or maybe something that left a mark in your heart that you cannot forget?
Really, when I bet one of Korean player, it was in war championship. They call it. There is a special war champion in Japan. They call it Jukurokano.
Okay, it's a competition in Japan.
Yeah, special in Japan. So it was on the fifth level to
Okay.
get like not the first, not the second, the fifth part to cross to the bronze medal.
All right.
I was playing with a judo player. He was from Korean.
Okay,
He,
Korean player versus
he was shorter than me, but I tried to throw them. I couldn't, because when I carry him by my leg in the middle of the high, he was holding my leg. How, I don't know. Don't say I.
So he got a specific technique that keeps him on the ground.
Yes, no, I'm carrying him, but
Oh, you're
I couldn't throw him.
Wow, because he was holding your leg.
Yes, how, I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
strange.
it was strange. Yes, very strange.
But you managed to win the match.
No,
Oh,
I lose. I get the fifth part.
oh,
I
yeah,
didn't
that's
jump to the bronze medal.
But at least you tried. I mean, I
Yes.
mean, this is something unforgettable. I would say yes,
Yes.
definitely. Being in Japan and competing, this is something
Yes.
unforgettable. I would say also
Yeah.
not only the game, the match itself.
Exactly right.
All right. So when it comes to advices, I know you have as a coach, as a referee, you have given a lot. But what would you give to the young athletes in Kuwait who aspires to excel in judo and possibly compete on the international games and also stages?
My advice to do not stop training. If you are, because our nation here in Kuwait, the psychologist of the bodies for the player, it's very good to be an judo player. But the problem, they are not continue.
They're not training. They're not
They're not
continuing.
training and they don't continue.
So how did judo influence your life after all? Since it's all about training, it's all about being disciplined, right? So
Yes, it's
tell me about
it's all about, you have to get a time management to hold this time for judo, especially to continue training. So even when you are a judo player, it will change all your psychologist, mind.
So during all these years, all the challenges, all the time you spent, what is one, I would say, i- important lesson you learned from all these years, other than being disciplined and patient and training?
Big amount of patience.
It
Give
requires
you
patience.
Big amount of patience.
So that's one lesson for the viewers and all those who are, interested in becoming a judo players, or maybe athletes in general, right?
Yeah,
So
yes, exactly.
we're not here only to promote
Yes.
judo, but also if you're interested in karate, we have also members here in the crew, taekwondo and karate, and I trained once as in a club for kickboxing, but it only took me 3 to 4 weeks until I quit. This, I mean, you're inspiring me right now to maybe come back again.
Yeah,
And,
yes, of course.
there's nothing wrong with that.
The age it will not stop you to train.
It's just a number.
Yes, it's a number only.
All right. Also, this is a lesson for everyone who is listening to us right now. So,
For all the martial art, everybody thinks when you are training as a martial art, you have to fight outside. No, or defense yourself.
no, it's not. I don't think it is.
Because when you become as a player or one of these martial arts, you're gonna kick one of those civilian people, so you will hold yourself, you will not hit him. Or
I
you
guess
will
this
fight
is
back.
one of the rules, right?
Yes.
This is one of the important rules behind that sport. All right, this this brings us to the one last question I have for you, Coach, which is the future. What are your goals in the future for regarding being a referee in the sport?
As a refereeing, I'm trying to be an Olympic referee.
You are still coaching as well, right?
Yes.
Let's add that to that.
As a coaching, I started before like 10 years to make a ladies judo team.
Nice. Do you have one?
I used to have one. We start them and they get very good result. And they start in big age, not small age. And they was very good. And the first competition they started, it was in West Asia.
Nice.
Yes.
So I thought it was locally.
No. There is only one team in Kuwait.
Nice.
It was one team. So when we go to West Asia, all of them, they get the bronze medal.
That's an achievement. At least
Yes.
they tried, they practiced, they
Exactly. They
participated.
practiced for 5 years. The end of this 5 years, they join the competition and they win. They get the medal, not winning, normal winning.
All right. Well,
So I have my advice for the Kuwait Judo Federation, they start the ladies teams.
all right. Why not? Hopefully in the
Yes.
future. Yep. All right. So thank you so much, Coach Humoud Dashti,
welcome.
for being part of this lovely interview in this episode. And yes,
It's my
before we
pleasure.
wrap the episode, the pleasure is mine. We'll take this quick break before we wrap the episode. So stay with us. All right, that was Coach Mahmoud Dashti, dear viewers. That was a wonderful interview. We learned a lot about his journey, his untold story of being a judo player, coach, and a referee. We hope you enjoyed it. So stay safe, dear viewers, and we hope to see you again in another episode of The Untold soon. Goodbye.